Morning, afternoon, or evening. It looks like you are opting to watch a video that comes in more than one part, probably because it was lengthy and we like to keep them kind of short so people don't have to sit too long. So this could be a two-parter, three-parter, or four-parter. I don't know which one you're looking at, but just wanted to let you know if you are on, say, part one and it has a part two, that part originally will come out on a date separate than part one. So just keep a lookout for the same title name where it says part two, part three, or part four, and then you should find your way accordingly. I hope you enjoy and I hope it helps clear up some sort of concept that someone was asking about. I'll see you later. Bye-bye now. Good morning, afternoon, or evening. There was a request by somebody if I could do some sort of video explanation on filling out the function report, the SSA 3373, for someone who is like a mental health disability claim, focus, concentration, getting things done, completing tasks. It could be that, a job that should take you an hour takes you 3 weeks because 5 minutes, you're like, I'm out of here, and then you come back to it. But that's affecting it. And that's not done in a timely manner. So even if you do get it done 3 weeks later, it's not really efficient, right? Far from it. Memory, people don't retain as much and then they can't remember it later. Sometimes they just can't do the recall. I don't know what all the little technical words are. I would expect pretty much all of these, not the using hands, that would be the physical part. And we just discussed about getting along with others and wanting to be around them, or does it rise to the level of actually fighting with people a lot? So those are the things you're going to want to address. And again, those you would expect many of them to be implicated with the mental health condition of severe depression or severe anxiety. And the distractibility and the poor concentration is what often affects the understanding and the following instructions. A lot of times people will leave those out. And it's funny, they'll leave them out and they won't check them off. And then I'm reviewing their activities answers and they completely didn't understand half the questions and wrote ridiculously inappropriate responses. Yet they didn't check off that they had difficulty following instructions, which they clearly did because they couldn't do the form, like even reasonably, So it's all the stuff we go through, but give it some thought. If you have to reread directions over and over, you have difficulty following directions. Take that as an assumption right there. And then you could say, I have to reread because I can't remember even like 3 sentence directions. I have to do it in pieces or whatever, however your reality is. And of course, to me, that also means understanding. Understanding could also be if you misinterpret people a lot, or you just feel like they're looking at you like, it could be understanding directions too, don't get me wrong, but it could also be understanding someone's meaning, misinterpreting it. If we're paranoid, we might have difficulty understanding other people's positions or understanding that they're not actually looking at us weird. We're just, I don't know, being paranoid. All right. Then they ask if you're right-handed or left-handed. Obviously, just answer that. The next questions are about walking and needing to rest. You still have to answer it even though you're mental health. If you say unlimited, I mean, technically, physically, you could say unlimited, but I have to ask you then. Think about, basically what you're saying is, yeah, but I'm so depressed I would never get out there and do it. Understood. If you did get out there, do you get that fatigue, the malaise from the depression that makes suddenly the walking very exhausting and like you just want to crawl and lie down under that tree over there? Think about that. Now, you don't want to be pretending you have a physical walking impairment when you don't. So you would want to specify, I think, that I get so tired after a short amount of activity with this depression that I just feel like I have to crawl back into bed. That might be something you could weave into that if that's accurate. Hey, stop. It's not yours. Um, how long can you pay attention? Huge, huge, huge. It is very, very hard usually for someone with severe mental health struggles of depression, anxiety to pay attention for long. It just is. It's almost by definition. So think about that. Maybe try watching maybe your favorite show. Do you actually stay very in tune the whole time? Yes or no? And then try watching something that's drier and would normally be a little boring. Is that shorter? And you could explain that if it's something that I would typically have been interested in, I could do it a little longer. You have to squeeze in these little lines here too. But you can always put it in remarks, I suppose. I think that one's important for, that's 20D, for the mental health claim when your case is relying totally on mental health. And again, most of the people I know have a difficult time lasting, I don't know, probably more than 10 minutes. But everyone's different. So, do you finish what you start? For example, a conversation, chores, reading, watching a movie. We talked about that before. Usually for the severe depressives, the answer is no. Don't feel like a louse if you say no. They might finish a conversation, but if your conversations are only 5 minutes, it's not that hard. What about the chores that take a half hour? So if any of those are, they only give you yes or no. If any of those are no, I don't finish that, I would click no. They don't actually ask for details. How well do you follow written instructions? Again, we talked about this. If your focus and concentration is off and you can't retain what you read and you have to reread, you definitely want to specify that. Same with spoken. If you're not sure, maybe go on like YouTube or someplace and look for a instructional video and then try to listen to it once and then go do what it said. Will you remember all those steps? Dare ya. All right. I would expect F and G to be impaired. That's the written and the spoken instructions. And it says, how well do you do it? I mean, they don't ask you, they don't really tell you how do you describe it, but sometimes people will say really poorly. I have to ask for them to repeat things. If I'm doing a YouTube, trying to learn something from YouTube, not that I've done it in a while, but I would have to replay it and replay it and replay it because I cannot remember all the things I heard. All right. Have you ever been fired or laid off from a job because of getting along with other people? Again, guys, this is going to be cross-referenced to a couple other places in the function report. So make sure you look at all three and see if you are thinking about it properly for all three. That part is over. If you're looking for the following part, if there is one, or a preceding part to the same video that was longer, just look under the channel for the same title video. They are named the same and they just have part one, part two, part three, or whatever part it is. So feel free to take a look, see, and complete the video. Take care.